Welcome everyone to this week's version of the Kitsap Weekly Market Stats. My name is Joey Walker with the Dupuy team at Keller Williams West Sound. My number is 360-265-3205 if you need to get a hold of me. Well, this is going to be kind of a cool bonus for you guys this week, because not only am I going to go over the stats, but we just had some breaking news in the economic world that we're going to cover real quick, as well as going over a 6-month comparison of our stats here to 6 months ago to put some perspective, okay? So, I'm going to dive right into it. This is for the week of September 13th through the 20th, and here we go. Brand new listings, 73, okay? 73 new homes hit the market last week in Kitsap County. That number's been kind of floating around there for a few weeks now. Not surprising this time of year in the fall. We're going to see dips, in new listings, and it's just a very typical thing that we see this time of year, okay? Kids are back in school, people kind of get back in the swing of that life, and so we see less listings, all right? List price reduced, homes that have been on the market for however long, a week, month, 2 months. How many last week lowered their prices? Well, 90, okay? And if you've been following me, maybe you think, oh, that's actually less than what we've been used to. We've been up in the triple digits for weeks, but compared to the percentage of our overall inventory, we're still floating around 20% of our inventory every single week is dropping their prices. Again, this was single digits maybe 6-7 months ago, okay? So a huge drop, people are still chasing the market, and they will continue to do so, kind of a teaser into our breaking news segment, okay? Back on market, we had 18 homes that were under contract, fall out of contract for whatever reason, and they went back on the market. Again, that number was 0 or 1 not too long ago. So more signs of a shift going on here, okay? Things have not changed from what we've been trending for the last couple months, really. All right, the actual activity, what happened out there? We had 144 homes go pending and 75 sold. Again, this has been now months and months and months of this trend of this large gap in between pendings and sold, okay? While pendings was exactly stuff that happened last week, solds were the activity 4 weeks ago. We had a 30-day closing process typically. But look at that gap. That's a huge number of homes not closing for whatever reason. Those reasons could be financing issues, inspection issues, because people are actually getting their inspections again. They're just, for whatever reason, getting cold feet and backing out. All right, people have that fear going on right now, okay? So we're still seeing that. Now, every week there's always a couple stats that really stand out. And days on market's been kind of boring, but holy cow, what a change we've seen just from last week. The average home is now staying on the market for 35 days in Kitsap County. And that's just, that's from when they put it on the market to when they accept an offer, okay? That's not the closing process, nothing like that. A home is sitting there for 35 days on average. That jumped just from 24 days last week, and that number was down to, again, I'm gonna go over the 6-month comparison really quick with these at the end, but that is a huge jump. We have not seen that number over 30 for a long time. Homes are sitting still. Sellers, you need to expect that. That is the norm now. The party might be coming to an end in some areas for what it was the last couple of years. Let's talk about average sold price. Homes are still selling for pretty good amount of money here. $545,000 was the average sold price. Again, kind of a volatile stat, because depending on what type of home sold on any given week, it can kind of fluctuate. But we've been seeing that number go down or down. I kind of broke down the numbers really good the last few months. On average, it's about 2% a month. Okay, 2% a month, 1.89, but rounded up to 2% a month, going down in average sold price since May. So 545,000, that's down about 1.6% just from last week. You gotta take all the averages and whatnot. Again, another stat that's really standing out these past couple weeks, and it keeps to going down as well, is how much are homes actually selling for compared to what they're listed for. Last week in Kitsap County without Bainbridge Island, 98.8.2%. So on average, homes are selling for about 1.18% below what they're listed for. Now, if you throw Bainbridge in there, that number is down to 94. Huge, 94.4%, a huge drop. And that just tells me in those high-end markets, they're really getting hit hard. So the higher the list price, the more they're dropping. They're just dropping and it really has to do with these interest rate hikes that's going on, and the shortening and smalling of the buyer pool for those types of properties, okay, people are losing buying power like crazy with this interest hikes. So the higher the amount, the bigger the drop. Right? Makes sense. And then finally, one stat I don't go over too often, but again, it just stuck out like crazy today on the stats, and that was, what is the percentage or the number of homes that sold below list price? We had 49. What does that really mean in percentage-wise? 65%, so 65.3, so almost 2/3 of all the homes that sold below list price. And that's after 20% of those lowered their list price to begin with. So likely, they lowered their list price to begin with, and then they still sold below list price. They're chasing this trend. Again, we'll go over the 6-month comparison, but that is the stats for this week. A shift is occurring, and it will continue to occur because of our breaking news, all right? If you've been following, you knew that today the Fed was gonna announce a interest rate hike. The question was it gonna be 75 basis points, or were they gonna go crazy and go 100? Well, it went to 75. Okay, we just got word of that. 75 basis point hike. That's gonna squeeze on our buyers more. And if that's squeezing on our buyers, seller, it's gonna squeeze you guys too. They have to beat inflation. And the Fed is finally stepping up, and they're really, really putting pressure on it. And they are projecting, we don't know, we'll see when reports come out, but they're projecting another 50 basis point hike in November and possibly 25 in December. But we'll see. That's quite a ways down the road. We're going to see how the numbers come out after the breaking news that they're going to raise it another 75 basis points. So buyers, you know, if you're looking to buy right now and you're kind of beating around the bush, if you want to get pre-approved, you better get out there quick and get it done. And sellers, just realized you probably lost more buyers. It's a tough time right now, but it has to be done if we have to correct what's been going on for the last couple. So breaking news, Fed just raised it another 3/4 of a point. Interest rates. Really quick, I'm not going to go into super detail. It's going to be kind of a minute here. 6-month comparison of these. I pulled up stats from back in April. 6-month comparison, 105 new. We only had 20 with the list price. Okay, so it's just starting to trend down with the list price, or trend upwards as far as that goes, but still. Back on market, there was only 3. Pending was 150 and 115. Okay, so there's still that big gap, but here we go, the big ones. Days on market just 6 months ago, which in real estate is not a very long time at all. 10 days. Okay, 10 days, so things were still flying off the shelf. All right. The average sold price, $606,000. So that's a $60,000, 10% essentially, almost a 10% drop just from 6 months ago. That's a huge number in real estate. This was at 106%, so homes were still selling for about 6% higher than they were back then. And then this number, again, this was only 10% that homes were selling below list price, 72% were still selling above. So quick 6-month comparison rundown, how much things have changed. It just totally caught my eye, so I thought I would share that with you guys. That is the stats for this week. We'll come back next week with some fresh stats and see what the breaking news is how it's going to affect our market. It could take the effects of what's happening today in this world is going to probably take a good 6 months to really see, but there are some things that we're going to be able to notice here in the near future, and we'll cover that with you guys. So again, my name is Joey Walker with the Dupuy team at Keller Williams West Sound, and I'll see you next week with some fresh stats. Thanks.